3 minutes left of trade. Going to start, though, with the British pound because it was an important factor affecting risk sentiment at the start of the day. See that big slide earlier? That was when the Brexit Secretary Dominic Raab resigned. We were down about 2% the lows of the day. We're finishing the day down about 1.7%. Theresa May holds on. That is the key, but clearly there's a lot of risk out there, hence that decline. Now, if we look at the S&P 500 intraday chart, you can see we started negative, in part affected by that soft sentiment in European markets, but we have shut that off as we got through the day, shaken that off as we got through the day. We're up 0.9% on the S&P as we approach the close. The Dow's a little behind that if we look at all the indices. The Nasdaq a little bit ahead of that. Sectors today in terms of the performance, tech at the top, utilities and real estate towards the bottom, but all sorts of strong performers there in the middle. Industrials, financials, energy, materials, all up over 1%. Bob Pisani.
Yeah, and you'll notice we were negative until 1:15 or so, and then all of a sudden, boom, 25 points up. There was an FT story that Robert Lighthizer, who's the U.S. trade representative, had told some industry executives that additional tariffs on China were on hold. This is a huge story. We've been unable to confirm it so far. We're trying to, but you see the market believed it. It moved up 25 points. We saw all the big industrial names, Boeing, Caterpillar, 3M. 3M moved 3.5% in about an hour. So as we keep saying, the marginal movers of the market are anything on trade and tariffs, anything indicating the Fed might be changing its position. Brexit, as you saw, also was a market mover and has been in the last 24 hours. And then we have a few other peripheral issues that are sitting out there. The Italian issues, for example, this morning when we had some representatives from the Northern League implying they might want to get out of the Eurozone if they won the next elections. They walked that back, but these are the things moving the market.
In terms of some of the sector performance, banks doing well today, even though we did see yields come down a bit from some of the Fed comments, but they've got a bid from some Warren Buffett investments.
Warren Buffett, what is $4 billion invested in JP Morgan? That's a pretty significant number. The banks have done nothing. When he expresses some interest in that kind of thing, it moves the market.
I want to come back, though, to a chart we've got of the whole week for the S&P 500, Bob, because today, a positive day, but it comes during a week-to-date performance down 2 to 2.5%.
The markets are confused, and the market should be confused. How do you figure out 2019 earnings estimates when you don't know if you're going to have a trade war with China? If you don't know if the Fed's going to be more aggressive than you thought, you're hoping they're only going to be 2 or 3, but you don't know. Powell said every single meeting in 2019 is hot. That gets people a little worried. How do you model that? How do you model whether China's going to be slowing down? How do you model what's going to figure out with Brexit? The SEC has already been a little concerned. They want more companies disclosing what the effects of a hard Brexit might be in their disclosure statements. How do you model this? The markets are confused, and the market should be confused because there's a lot of uncertainty right now, much more than there was 6 months ago. So I don't find any of this particularly startling. Until you can get some clarity, you're going to get this kind of move.
Bob, thanks very much. There goes the bell. Bradesco ringing it here, the big board ringing it at the Nasdaq is WW, and we are down, up 0.8% on the Dow, 213 points at the close.